trying to say that's somehow my fault?
Well, it is your fault. Had you stayed put where I ordered you to stay, none of this would have happened.
How can I go back?
To Frank. Well, that I leave to you. Tell him what you will about me. About us.
The Outlander Season 8 is already shaping up to be the season of twists, and if there's one bombshell that's already got fans buzzing, it's the return of Faith Fraser. If you're still reeling from the emotional punch of losing Claire and Jamie's firstborn in Season 2, brace yourself because this isn't just a memory we're revisiting. It's a game changer. Faith's return was hinted at in the final moments of Season 7, leaving us all stunned. The question is, how is this possible? Was Faith's death all a lie? Or is there something much bigger at play? The more idea of Faith coming back throws the entire storyline into uncharted territory. For those who haven't been keeping up, Faith was Claire's firstborn daughter tragically lost in Season 2. Her death was one of the most gut-wrenching moments in the show, and now to have the possibility that she may not have died at all, it's mind-blowing. The shockwaves from this revelation will reverberate throughout the entire Fraser family, but especially for Claire, who has been carrying this grief for years. Imagine having to face the pain of losing your child all over again, but with the haunting possibility that she's alive. Caitriona Balfe herself has called this twist such an interesting cliffhanger, and it's easy to see why. This revelation opens up a whole new realm of possibilities for Claire, and by extension, the whole Outlander universe. Questions are swirling. Is Faith really alive? How did she survive? And most importantly, what does her return mean for the future of the Frasers? It's not just the emotional impact that makes this twist so intense. It's the ripple effect it will have on the narrative moving forward. The stakes for Claire and Jamie are higher than ever. Claire, who has always been a symbol of strength, will have to confront her own vulnerabilities in ways we've never seen before. Her medical knowledge has always been at the core of her character, but can she heal the emotional wounds that Faith's return will open? And how will Jamie, who has spent so much time trying to protect Claire from the horrors of the past, react to this devastating twist? This is Outlander after all, where nothing is ever straightforward, and the emotional roller coaster is never far from the surface. If there's one thing we know for sure, it's that Faith's return will be one of the most heart-wrenching and thought-provoking storylines we've ever seen. The question remains, what will it mean for the Frasers, and how will this new revelation change their destiny? If you thought the emotional stakes were high, get ready to face the reality of battle both on the battlefield and within the hearts of the Frasers. Season 8 is gearing up to deliver some of the most intense and devastating moments yet, and Jamie Fraser's fate is at the heart of it all. If the show follows the trajectory of Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone, the latest book in the series, Jamie will find himself on the brink of death once again. In the books, he is seriously wounded in battle during the Revolutionary War, left for dead on a mountainside with no one around to help him. But of course, this is Jamie Fraser we're talking about, and his story is far from over. Claire, ever the healer, will rush to his side, but her medical skills will be pushed to their limits. This isn't just a physical wound. It's a deeper, more desperate situation that will require Claire to tap into something far beyond her usual expertise. But what does this something deeper really mean? It's likely that it connects back to the mysterious powers we've seen in Claire, possibly even hinting at the magic within her bloodline, which has always been more than just a survival mechanism. We've already seen Claire do the impossible in the past, but this time it might take more than just science to save Jamie. Could this be where her powers finally take center stage? It's hard to say, but one thing is certain, the cost of saving Jamie could be higher than either of them ever anticipated. Diana Gabaldon, the author of the Outlander series, has hinted at Claire's abilities being more powerful than we've seen before. If the show goes down this road, it could redefine how we view her character. Claire, who has always been a woman of science, may have to embrace something much more mystical and unpredictable. But as we've learned over the years, magic in the Outlander world always comes at a price. Saving Jamie might come at a steep cost, one that could threaten their entire future together. The idea that Claire's healing powers could reach a new, almost otherworldly level adds a layer of suspense and intrigue to the storyline. Will she be able to pull Jamie from the edge of death? Or will the magical forces she taps into make things worse? Adding to this sense of looming dread is the fact that the Revolutionary War is about to engulf the Frasers like never before. We've already seen how divided the characters have been in past seasons, but now with war on the horizon, the stakes couldn't be higher. Jamie, Claire, Ian, and William are all caught up in the chaos, and their loyalties will be tested in ways they never expected. This war is brutal, and history tells us how devastating it was for everyone involved. There's no way the Frasers will come out of this unscathed. Jamie, who has fought for so long to protect his family, might find himself facing not only physical wounds, but emotional scars that will haunt him forever. The Revolutionary War will undoubtedly bring about intense battles, both literal and emotional. For Jamie, it's not just about fighting for the cause. It's about protecting his family, the ones he holds most dear. As the tension builds and the war looms closer, the Frasers will have to make choices that could define their futures. But perhaps the most heart-wrenching conflict will be between Jamie and his son William, who as a British soldier will be forced to choose between his loyalty to the crown and his loyalty to his family. The emotional impact of father and son facing off on opposing sides of the battlefield is something Outlander fans have been dreading for a long time. And now it seems inevitable. As we get closer to Season 8, there's a real sense of uncertainty hanging over Jamie's future. Will he survive the war? And if he does, what kind of man will he be when the dust finally settles? The tension is palpable and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Fraser family has weathered many storms, but this season it's clear that the storm will come with devastating consequences. With Jamie's life hanging in the balance, the next chapter of Outlander promises to be as thrilling and heartbreaking as ever. So as the Revolutionary War inches closer and the Frasers are pulled deeper into its chaos, we can only brace ourselves for the emotional roller coaster that's about to unfold. As if the impending war and Jamie's life-threatening injuries weren't enough to set the stage for a season of heart-wrenching turmoil, Outlander Season 8 will also delve into the complex and often painful dynamics of the Fraser family. After all, at the heart of this epic series lies the relationships that shape the characters. Those bonds of love, loyalty, and sacrifice that keep the Frasers going through thick and thin. Season 8 is poised to shine a light on some of the deepest secrets and darkest fears that have been buried in the shadows for years. As we've already seen with Faith's return, nothing in the Outlander universe is ever as it seems. It's not just the return of a lost daughter that will change everything. It's what this reveal means for the entire family and the foundations they've built their lives upon. To begin with, we have Claire. This season will test her in ways that we've never seen before. The loss of Faith was a defining moment in her life. Claire carried that grief for years, and it became a quiet, ever-present force in her character. It wasn't just the pain of losing her child, it was the pain of knowing that her daughter, the person she loved more than anyone in the world, was gone. Forever. Now, with the shocking possibility that Faith may have survived and is coming back into their lives, it's almost like reopening an old wound. For Claire, the emotional toll will be immeasurable. The deep-seated guilt and grief she's harbored all these years will surface in unexpected and powerful ways. There's no way to prepare for what this might do to Claire, who has already been through so much. Her resilience has always been one of her greatest strengths, but with this new twist in her story, she might be forced to face the parts of herself that she's spent years trying to outrun. But Claire's journey in Season 8 won't just be about confronting the past. It will also involve a deep exploration of her future. What's left for her, what's at stake, and how far she's willing to go to protect the people she loves. If the magical elements of her character take a more prominent role this season, Claire may have to reckon with powers she hasn't fully understood or embraced until now. She's always been a healer using her medical knowledge to save lives. But what if saving Jamie this time isn't just about science? What if it's about something much deeper, something beyond her control? This isn't the first time Outlander has hinted at Claire's potential for magic. Her ability to time travel, her connection to certain forces of nature, and her unique intuition have always set her apart. But what if Season 8 forces her to embrace her more mystical side? What if this power could unlock the key to not only Jamie's survival, but also to untangling the complex web of secrets that surround her family? The idea of Claire wielding a more overt magical power opens a whole new set of possibilities for the show. The more we learn about Claire's backstory and her connection to the universe of time travel, the more we realize that there's so much more to her than meets the eye. The question, of course, is whether this change in Claire's character will be a boon or a curse. Magic, especially in the world of Outlander, always comes at a cost. If Claire taps into these deeper abilities, there's no telling what she might have to sacrifice. Her bond with Jamie has always been her greatest strength. But could this magic drive a wedge between them? Could the cost of saving Jamie be greater than either of them expected? Speaking of Jamie, let's not forget that he, too, will be facing his own set of challenges in the coming season. While he's always been a protector, a fighter, and a leader, Season 8 is going to put all of those qualities to the test. As Jamie continues to fight in the Revolutionary War, his role in this historical conflict will be fraught with personal stakes that could forever alter his legacy. We know Jamie has always been willing to risk everything for the people he loves, especially Claire. But what will happen when the very essence of his identity is put in jeopardy? When he is severely injured in battle, and Claire is forced to do the impossible to save him, will their relationship survive the fallout from this traumatic event? Their bond has always been unshakable, but magic and war are forces that even the strongest relationship can't always overcome. As Jamie faces the worst of his battle wounds, he might not just be fighting for his life. He might also be fighting for the future of his family. Jamie's relationship with his children will also be tested. The return of Faith is just the beginning of the family drama that's about to unfold. We've already seen the complexities of Jamie's relationship with Brianna and Roger, but what will happen when the next generation is forced to reckon with the dangers of their own family's legacy? Brianna, especially, will have to navigate her own fears and responsibilities as her family faces unprecedented challenges. While she's always been strong and independent, the emotional weight of being a Fraser is going to get even heavier in Season 8. She's already seen the pain and sacrifice that her parents have endured, and now with her own children at risk, she'll have to fight not just for their survival, but for the future of her family's story. And then there's William Jamie's son, who is facing his own crisis of identity. As a British soldier in the Revolutionary War, William's loyalty to the crown will inevitably conflict with his loyalty to his father. The emotional devastation of seeing his father on the battlefield, possibly fighting against him, will undoubtedly tear William apart. His journey this season will be one of self-discovery as he tries to reconcile his duty to the crown with the love and loyalty he feels for his family. The tension between father and son is already unbearable, and with the war closing in, their relationship could be shattered in ways that neither of them expected. What happens when the very person you've looked up to your entire life becomes your enemy? What happens when blood ties are torn apart by the cruel reality of war? Family secrets, especially those surrounding the Frasers, will play a huge role in the unfolding drama of Season 8. We've already seen glimpses of hidden truths, secrets that have been buried for years, even generations. As Claire's past comes back to haunt her, and Jamie's legacy becomes more complicated, the Frasers will have to confront the painful truths that have always lurked beneath the surface. Faith's return is just one of the many family secrets that will rock the foundation of their world. But as the Frasers fight to protect each other and survive, they'll also have to face the darker side of their pasts. Every family has its secrets, but in the world of Outlander, those secrets can change the course of history itself. As Season 8 progresses, we can expect a lot of unanswered questions and emotional turmoil. The return of Faith Jamie's fate, the impact of war on the Fraser family, and the deepening magic that runs through Claire's bloodline are just the beginning. The next chapter in Outlander promises to be as thrilling, heartbreaking, and unpredictable as ever. The Frasers will be pushed to their breaking points, but their love, their loyalty, and their resilience will keep them fighting, no matter what. One thing is for sure, the world of Outlander is far from finished, and the road ahead will be one of its most intense yet. As the magic of time travel and family ties continues to weave through this complex story, we can only wonder, how will the Frasers survive this final chapter? And will they find peace, or will their journey take them to a place even darker than before? The journey of the Fraser family has never been a straightforward one, and as we head into Outlander Season 8, the next generation of Frasers is about to face challenges that will test everything they thought they knew about themselves and their legacy. Brianna and Roger Clare and Jamie's children have been through a roller coaster ride of time-traveling near-death experiences and constant danger. After everything they've already endured, all we've wanted for them is peace, a moment of respite, where they can finally breathe and live without constantly fearing for their lives. But let's be real. This is Outlander. Peace never lasts long, and neither do happy endings. Brianna and Roger, who have already dealt with the complexities of living in 2 different centuries, are about to face new trials that will shape their future in ways we can't even begin to predict. Brianna and Roger's story has often been one of survival, from their initial struggles to fit into the 18th century to the trauma of watching loved ones get caught up in the brutal forces of history. Their journey hasn't been easy. Yet, the couple has grown tremendously over the years. Brianna, a strong-willed, intelligent woman who was born into a time that felt so foreign to her, has had to make hard decisions in a world far removed from her modern-day life. Her scientific mind, which so closely mirrors her mother Claire's, has been a guiding light through many of their toughest moments. Meanwhile, Roger, with his deep love for Brianna and his desire to protect her, has proven time and time again that he will do whatever it takes to keep his family safe. But despite their strengths, both Brianna and Roger are burdened by the weight of their choices. Time travel may have given them a second chance at life in a new era, but it also came with its own unique set of burdens. They have no real control over their fate, no ability to rewrite history, and no real understanding of what their future holds. With each passing season, their roles have grown more complex as they balance their own survival with the need to keep their children safe and protect the legacy of the Fraser family. This season, things are going to get even more complicated for Brianna and Roger. While their past struggles are part of what has made them such a beloved duo, it's clear that their journey won't be as simple as riding off into the sunset. In Season 8, we will see a different side of their relationship, one that's shaped by the emotional, psychological, and physical toll of being constantly on the run, dealing with threats they can't control. Brianna has always carried the burden of her family's history, but now, with the looming possibility of war and the return of faith, she might face an even greater internal struggle. She's not just fighting for her own survival anymore, she's fighting for the future of her children and their place in the world. Brianna's fierce loyalty to her family will be tested as never before, and it's likely that the emotional weight of what's coming will push her to her breaking point. Roger, too, will have to reckon with the weight of his own decisions. As a man displaced in time, he's already had to sacrifice much of his own identity and place in the world. Being married to Brianna, and by extension becoming part of the Fraser family, has forced Roger to confront some hard truths about his own role in history. In the past, he has struggled with reconciling the man he wants to be with the reality of the world around him. But in Season 8, we'll see Roger stepping into a new role. He will face his own battles, internally and externally, that will shape his relationship with Brianna and the future of their family. He's always been a man who tries to do what's right, but in the coming season, Roger may have to make choices that go against his very moral code. The Revolutionary War will bring turmoil and chaos to the world around them, and that could lead to moral dilemmas that will test Roger's courage and commitment. The man he once was might not be enough to protect his family in the face of the upcoming storm. What kind of man will Roger be when the war rages on and his family's future hangs in the balance? Then there are their children, Jemmy and Mandy. As we know Claire's magical abilities, particularly her connection to time travel, seem to run through the bloodline, and it looks like her grandchildren may have inherited some of that unique gift. In Season 8, we can expect to see the mystery surrounding Jemmy and Mandy's powers explored more deeply. Jemmy in particular has already shown signs of having an affinity for the unexplained, and as his abilities begin to manifest more clearly, the family will have to come to terms with what this means for their future. Is there a deeper connection between their magical heritage and the world they've been thrust into? Will Jemmy's abilities become a key factor in their survival, or will they serve as a danger that will bring even more conflict to the family? This magical legacy is something that's been bubbling beneath the surface for years, and with the family's already heightened emotional stakes, it's likely that Jemmy and Mandy's powers will become a focal point for much of the season. The question of how Brianna and Roger will cope with their children's burgeoning abilities is one of the most intriguing aspects of this season. For a long time, they've been able to shield Jemmy and Mandy from the harshest realities of their family's history, but now With the possibility of the children inheriting Claire's magic, their fate could be tied to a much bigger destiny than either of them ever imagined. Could the magic that Claire possesses be passed down to her grandchildren in a way that changes the entire course of the family's future? And how will Brianna and Roger handle the weight of this new responsibility? These powers are not something that can be easily understood, and the potential for danger is high. It's not just about the children, it's about how their abilities could change everything for the Frasers and their place in the world. With the impending war and the threat of destruction looming on the horizon, the Frasers will have to navigate a world where magic is real. History is ever-changing and the future is uncertain. For fans of the couple, this promises to be one of the most compelling and challenging seasons yet. With everything they've been through, the question on all of our minds is, will they ever catch a break? Or will their journey continue to be defined by struggle, sacrifice, and heartbreak? The answer is likely the latter. But one thing is certain. Their love for each other and their family will be the anchor that holds them together. And as the new generation of Frasers steps up to face their own destiny, we can only wonder how their story will intertwine with the larger narrative of the Fraser family's fight for survival. Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe our channel for more updates. Thanks.